All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Ubel. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Awadad, the House of David. This is the brother Malak. Just coming back at you with this truth, giving you this video right here. All right, let's go into a few scriptures first and foremost before we jump into the video. All right, let's get this here. Psalm 10 and verse number 3. It says, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire." And we know what this man's desire is, right? To set up his new world order globally. You see, to chip everybody on the planet, right? See? Okay? Issue a RFID microchip, right? To cease hold on everybody. Okay? To push off CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, right? See? Biometrics identification. You see? Digital ID. Okay? All right? And this is this man's plans, right? So he's going around these different countries, stealing their resources, man. And he's trying to set it up globally, but going in and setting up his puppet leaders, right? And stealing the resources out of their lands. You see? That's what this man is with the sword, right? With the sword, meaning the physical sword and his tongue. You see, with a bunch of his lies, a bunch of his manipulation, his pseudoscience. You see? Let's read Psalm 10 and 3 again. It says, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous whom the Lord Yahweh abhorreth." Right? Jump down to verse 5. It says, "His ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight, and as for his enemies, he puffeth at them." Right? And that's what he's doing. He's puffing at his enemies right now. Right? Iran. See that right now? Because they what they over there, man, stealing and robbing and raping and pillaging, man. That's what they're going over there for, man. To take over their central banks, right? To steal the resources out of there, the uranium, the gold, anything that goes down with. That's why I got a video on right now. All right? You see? This thing is deeper than what people may think, man. All right? Now, eventually, there is going to be a World War III. You see? But the end is not yet, like Yahweh Shai said in Matthew the 24th chapter, Luke the 21st chapter, the 9th verse. All right? You see? It's going to eventually come, but we know we got to go through Jacob's trouble, right? Jeremiah 30 and 7, right? Daniel 12 and 1. You see? All these things must come to pass. Concentration camps, right? Gurga troops, Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, right? All these things must happen before the ultimate end game, which the ultimate end game is World War III, right? Where all these nations are going to come up against this horde, right? And they're going to shoot missiles off and burn this bitch, man. You see? You know, pardon my French, but hey, it is what it is, man. Okay? Right? So let's do this here. Where we at? He said, verse 6, he said in his heart, "I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity," right? His mouth is full of cursing and deceit, right? And deceit and fraud, because a lot of manipulation is on the news, man. That's why you got to go to alternate news. You got to go to many different other areas to get the truth. You see? Because this man is pulling an Operation Mockingbird, right? That's what he's pulling off here on his news medias, man. All right. Operation Mockingbird. All right. And there's many different operations that they have set up. I put a a picture up of all the operations that he saw, man. And mass amounts more of operations that he saw. All right. When I had put it up on a post. You see? It says, and under his tongue is mischief and vanity. You see? Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Right? So let's go here. Right? Let's go to Micah 2 and 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." Right? Now, this was all discussed by the tiny tops. Right? The small hatters. Right? Who hijacked this place up, right? Because Babylon, this whore, it works for the tiny tops. That state, all right, of Israel, You see, them 1948ers, man. Okay? You see? Netting y'all booty. Okay? Netting out of you. All right? Okay? You see? All right? And this is let's continue on. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it, right? And they put it into practice, right? It came into play over the weekend. That's when this whole thing started. You see? And they got many different other things they're eyeing up. They want to go in there. They want to take down the Ayatollah, set up a new regime leader, right? A puppet leader, really a small hatter. They want to throw in there, right? And steal all the resources out of there, drain the resources, set up a central bank digital currency, set up the central bank digital currency, right? This is what this thing is all about. It's a global thing. You see, get a hold of the central bank, get a hold of resources, right, and everything of that nature, right? So they'll have control over everything. You see, it says verse number 2. It says, and they covered fields and take them by violence. You see, and they take them by, and that's when they went in there with violence, man. They went in there and they tried to debo Iran. You see, but Iran wasn't trying to hear that. They wasn't trying to hear that madness. You see, they was coming with their own fisticuffs. Okay, they threw their hands up like, "What's up?" You see what I'm saying? Because that's what this meant. That's what this Babylon the Great has been. It's been the hammer of the whole earth, man. You see, like the ancient Romans, man. The ancient Romans used to go in there and just debo you, man. Debo you, tell you, hey, listen, you might tuck your chain in, but they're gonna take your chain off of you. Shut up, punk, before I knock your ass out too. That's how they was coming. You see? And that's the modern, and we in the revitalized Roman Empire all over again, man. All right? See? Spearheaded by who? NERO47. Okay? You see? So where we at, verse number 2, it says, and they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses they take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. You see that? So let's go and play this here video. All right?
As the West Asia war intensifies, America and Israel continue.
See, this is all about uranium. All right? Listen in, brothers.
To target Iran, while the U.S. President Donald Trump has publicly sounded indecisiveness on the possibility of sending ground troops, it is now emerging that America and Israel are in discussions regarding sending special forces to Iran. As per reports, a potential ground invasion is being linked to securing Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium. U.S. intelligence estimates suggest that Tehran possesses around 450 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60%, which could be further enriched to weapons-grade level. The nuclear sites of Natanz, Fordow and Isfahan, which were struck by America last year, can be targeted if a ground invasion does take place. And this is because most of the uranium stockpile is believed to be in the underground tunnels of the nuclear facility in Isfahan, while the rest is split between Fordow and Natanz. The discussions have reportedly focused on either removing this material from Iran altogether or bringing in nuclear experts to dilute it on site. One of the other aims of sending troops into Iran is reportedly to seize the Karg Island, which is located 25 kilometers off Iran's coast near Bushehr province. While it is only about 6 kilometers long, the strategic value of this island is immense for Tehran. A petrochemical facility was jointly developed here in 1969 by the National Iranian Oil Company and US-based American Oil Company. This island was linked by pipeline.
Right, they want to get a hold of the oil, right, all these resources. They want to get a hold, really, of the Strait of Hormuz. That's what these devils really want to get a hold of, right, because all the oil and the crude oil and all that things come through the Strait of Hormuz. All right, and what a better way to jump things off, right, and say that they're a threat to us because of their nuclear missiles. That's all bullshit. All right, once again, Salakia for my French, but that's all madness. Okay, that's a damn lie. All right, what they really went in there, they really want to go in there and steal the resources. They want to go in there and take over the central bank. They want to go in there. They want to do everything and own the oil and everything of that nature, uranium, and rich in resources. All right, plummet their country. All right, as Esau has done, because he's a vagabond and a fugitive. You see, right?
To both offshore.
This man is a criminal on the loose. All right, a vagabond, meaning someone that doesn't have a place to dwell at, but his land over here, he don't this ain't even his, this is stolen land over here. America is stolen land. All right, he stole this from our brothers of the Northern Kingdom. You see,
Oil fields as well as mainland oil fields in Khuzestan. By early 1970s, this infrastructure transformed Kharg into Iran's largest oil loading terminal. At present, it has the capacity of loading up to 7 billion barrels of oil every day. It also handles nearly 90% of Iran's oil exports. And during the Iran-Iraq war in the 1980s, it was bombed by Saddam Hussein's forces on multiple occasions. Incidentally, Donald Trump has not outrightly ruled out sending troops to seize this very island.
all right. So as you have it, let's go into Habakkuk, right? Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and let's go to the 5th verse. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, right? It says, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what he want to do. He want to chip everybody too. All right? You see? He plummet their resources. He destroyed their country, and they guess where they all come? They come to Babylon. Right? And then he said, oh, you immigrants. You see, you're immigrant. What you doing over here? When this devil done stole the whole damn land, man. You see? Let me get Psalm 73. Right? Psalm 73 and verse number 6. Matter of fact, let's start at verse number 4. Yep, start at verse number 4. It says, for there's no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, and they have more than their heart can wish. You see? But they always want to take more and more and more. Right? That's why I read to you Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, in the 5th verse. Right? So let me go get my last scripture in Revelation. Revelation, the 6th chapter, and let's go right down to the 8th verse. Right? It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Hey, so with that, we're going to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Marakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Ruel, peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Awadad, the House of David. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Abba Babal, Shalom.